Okay. So, um, there's one thing I want to start today's meeting with. I know we are working on that DevOps assignment, and we can continue for a part of today. But there's one thing I want to um, get you guys feedback on, and see how it's mainly to see how I can improve, and also to give you guys my expectations for what I expect from you when you join my program. So, well, I don't necessarily like to call it a program, even though it is. I just see myself as I am literally telling you 100% what I did to go from when in my opinion, I was living check to check, and I barely had money for pretty much anything that I wanted to do. Is literally I was living off my credit card, meaning that I don't overspend on credit card. I use credit card for the necessary things, right? But whenever I buy things on my credit card, by the time I get paid, I'm usually using my check to pay off my credit card, and I usually have about $200 left. So I can show you guys. I took notes of all these things. These are things I can show you, like my check at my previous company before I moved to the cloud. So what I see myself doing is sharing exactly what I did to transition into the cloud, to get a job, and what has allowed me to be able to keep my job. So that is what I'm sharing, which is why all the projects that you need to complete that helps you build all the necessary skills you need, not only to become a cloud engineer, but also to be able to keep your job. That is what I'm sharing. So there really isn't, there is, there is not a fast way or a shortcut you can take to building your skills and getting a job. I am guaranteeing, and I can bet all the money in my account on it, that if you complete all these projects and not only complete them, you go through those projects understanding everything we did there, meaning that you understand different concepts that are explained in the project. For example, when you work on a project, you might set up your SSH keys. You might install this software on your computer. You might set up public and private subnets in your VPC. And you understand those concepts that if someone is to ask you questions on the project during an interview, or you are describing the project to someone, you can confidently describe all the things you did. That is the main goal of the project. So I guarantee that all the projects that I'm sharing with you guys would help you build the skills you need. And yeah, so that's one of the things I want to say. So that is kind of like what my program is about. I'm sharing 100% what I know with you guys, and that's that. So this week, this is one of the feedback that I got, one of the feedback that I received from one of my students, and I want to share with you guys. And I also want to get you guys' opinion on. So, and before I share it, I don't want to criticize anyone, but I also want to take points in it to let you guys know the right expectations on what you need to expect, what I expect from you, and what you have to do to build your skills in order to give yourself the best chance to be successful. Okay. So this is this is a feedback that I got from a student this week, right? So it says, I've been a member for 6 months, 6 to 7 months. I haven't had any, I haven't seen any job opportunities come my way, despite rigorous efforts in applying. The projects you provide are good, but they don't challenge students to think independently. Some assignments particularly are difficult, and the support available on this platform is lacking. I had to withdraw from an interview because I struggled with Terraform project. I'm feeling stuck at square one. This lack of progress has left me frustrated and annoyed, especially considering the expectation I had for this platform. While I understand the responsibility lies with the student, the projects often feel more like following a template rather than genuine learning experience. And now, as my membership is about to expire, I find myself achieving nothing. At this point, I'm starting to question the that's probably like I always struggle with legitimacy of the platform. So that's what this person said, right? So I want to get you guys' take on it, right? What are your expectations for me? And I would also tell you guys my expectations for you. Because I'm telling you, I can bet all the monies on my account on the information I'm sharing with you guys. I stand by it 100%. Like I don't have any doubts, and feedback like this, I appreciate it, but it doesn't bother me. So I would open the floor to you guys. Maybe there's something I'm missing in how I can better improve to help you guys out. And also, I can tell you guys what I expect from you guys.
Can I come in?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I joined sometime last month, and I've been saying to myself and telling everyone that it's such a blessing joining this group. You know, I feel like you've done everything you need to do. Everything we need to learn is in here and on the YouTube channel. You know, and sometimes when I ask a question, it takes a while for you to respond, and I understand that, and that gives me time to go in and dig in and actually find the answers I was looking for. So I feel like this type of statement right here, probably they were expecting you to hold them through to the interview and do the interview for them. But for me, everything I ever asked for, I'm getting it on this platform. And I'm learning really, really fast a lot from this. But again, I have a couple questions to ask you because I got stuck anyway, but that's my take on this.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, we'll work on your whatever you got stuck on after we cover like today's stuff. Thank you. Thank you for your feedback. Uh, so, and I noticed you mentioned that sometimes when you message me, yeah, yes, it might take me some time to respond to you. So that I can improve on. I'm always trying to improve on that, which is why now I started going live on like at some point during the week. And I want to improve on that. I want to go live as much as I can during the week. So there will be more people I can help throughout the week to help you guys troubleshoot any issues you are facing while you are working on your project. But at the same time, I'm also telling you guys that there are two things to consider. One, the information that I've put in the project. Are those information 100% accurate and right? Meaning that the error you are having, are you having those error because of the information I presented during the project is incorrect, or are you having the error because you misconfigured something? I am saying 100% that every project that I've put there, I also test it, and how I am also validating that the information is still relevant is because how I'm testing that the information is still relevant is when I track every week, each students are always completing the projects. So if a student is able to complete the project to the end, that also lets me know that the information is valid, right? So that's the question you should ask yourself. Am I having this error because the information is not right, or something that I did, something that I misconfigured? And if you 195% of the time, it is always something the students misconfigured. And I'm also saying that that is an opportunity for you to learn. Troubleshooting is a big part of working as a cloud engineer. Is we go through that every day at work. Troubleshooting is a big part of being a cloud engineer. There might be times you join. There might be times where you deploy something to a different environment, something breaks, then you have to go figure out what happens. So even when you guys work on your project and you troubleshoot something, that is an opportunity for you to learn the project even on a deeper level. As you guys know, when you get stuck and you are able to figure it out on your own, you understand that concept 100% of the time, and you pretty much don't have that same issue again. So I a lot of people tend to shy away from the troubleshooting, but I'm saying troubleshooting does not end on your project. It is a part of your work, your daily work as a cloud engineer. That you can't escape. So if you don't like troubleshooting, you don't want to be a problem solver, you don't want to have to sit there and figure out what went wrong in something, then you'll probably have a hard time working as a cloud engineer. That I can tell you guys now, troubleshooting will be a part of your day-to-day. So when you are having issues with your project and you take the time to trace back your steps and try to pinpoint where you think you may have made the issue, try to think of where you think you misconfigured something. That will help you um, learn the project and the concepts on a deeper level. So that's what I would say about troubleshooting. Does anyone else have
Yeah, I have something to say as
Yes, I have something to say.
okay. Mr. Henry can go, then Mr. Emmanuel, you guys you can go after him.
Mr. Larry, Harry.
Oh yeah, let me turn on my I thought it was Mr. Henry speaking. Okay, Mr. Larry, you go ahead.
Aziz, based on the what this guy sent to you,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that is relevant in relation to this AWS platform you are teaching us. In my own perspective, that's me, because I've attended other classes related to AWS. I can categorically say you are one of the best. You are one of the best in this field because you put everything in laid down foundation compared to other guys. So that's why I just joined your class. It's not up to maybe 3 months or 2.5 months. But what I've gained from this platform is better than what I've gained from the previous class I've attended. So I believe you are the best. And another thing, during the week, I sent you a message because I was having an issue in some of the application I was doing. During that process, you could not respond back to me in time, so I keep digging, then working on it, then try one way or the other, keep pushing more effort. Fortunately, I got some of those errors resolved. So I can say precisely you are number one. Thank you. Keep it up, please.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. And also please give me feedback on if there's anything. A lot of the stuff I'm doing on the project now, where I am updating the project, I've already updated the first one, the static website. I'm currently recording the video for the WordPress website, and I am updating that. So a lot of the things I include in the updated version of the project are based on the feedback that I received from you guys. So if you guys have any feedback, I always welcome your feedback, because I understand that my goal is to make sure that you have um, all the tools and all the skills you need when you go and apply for work. And my ultimate goal is for you to be able to keep your job once you get your job. So that's why I'm giving you the right expectations. I feel like I always tell myself that I really don't want to say something negative to myself, but I'll just say for this one, I always feel like I'm a terrible businessman, because I see other people that are doing this program, how much they charge, and the things they make you go through before the things they make you go through before you even sign up for the program. For example, you might have to watch a webinar. They don't even tell you exactly what you're getting yourself into. They tell you you can get a job in as easy as 12 weeks. I don't do any of that because I want to collect your money. I'll just tell you, this is what I did. This is the expectation I have for you. There's been many people that have called me and want me to give them guarantee that if I sign up for your program, will I get a job? I was like, no. If you sign up for my program, you'll build the skills you need to be able to excel during your interview, which will give you a chance to get a job. But ultimately, it is your responsibility to do what you have to do to build your skills. But am I going to show you all the things, all the skills you need to build, and break it down for you in a way that is easy for you to understand, and also be that mentor along the way as you go through the project? Yes, I'm going to do anything that I can do to assist you, but I also expect you to be consistent, do the work, and make sure you have the skills before you go and apply for work. So, which is why like you said, thank you. I have the projects, some of it are on YouTube, available for free. And what I'm mainly doing in this program is trying to be a mentor, making sure I'm meeting with you guys regularly to make sure that you are on the right track, help answer any questions you have, help troubleshoot any issues you are facing, and just to keep you accountable. If you guys know, sometimes we have a lot of people in here. Sometimes, like today, you can see the numbers, but I still have to show up every week. And if I calculate all the amount of times that I've been showing up every week since we started this program, is almost equates to pennies for me compared to what I make in my field. So, but I'm doing all this because I do get a sense of satisfactions when you guys have a post either on LinkedIn, or I hear back from you guys on how the the knowledge I'm sharing has had an effect on you and things you've learned. That really makes me feel happy. So that's one of the reasons why I do it. And you know what? And I don't even want to make it something that's so expensive that you have to pay me 4,000 for. There's never going to be a time you have to pay me thousands of dollars to learn the information. I'll put it out there, and I want to make it at an affordable price that you guys can afford, and also that also benefits me. So thank you for your feedback. If there's a way I can improve, I know one of the ways I've gotten feedback from people is the price. I am working on adjusting it to the best of my ability, and I'll give you guys update on that sometime today or tomorrow. Thank you. Let me see. Mr. Henry, Mr. Adewale, you can go ahead then, Mr. Henry, after.
I'm still waiting.
Oh, Mr. Emmanuel, you didn't have your hand raised. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Emmanuel.
First of all, I have to thank you for the mentorship and the way you are conducting this platform and the kind of training you are giving us. And I don't want you to be bothered with this kind of feedback. There will, in a setting like this, there will always be people that are not appreciative. Number one, you have laid down what will make every student or every member of this platform to succeed if they want to be cloud engineer. When people want to cut corners or jump what you have laid out, the question I want you to be asking people is, do they follow all the projects, what you have laid down? If somebody is going to do Terraform, there's nothing wrong with it, but start from follow all the steps that you have laid down. If you have not done dynamic website and you want to go and start doing Terraform, you are going to fail because the course is built on each other. And along the line, what you have missing is still going to show up. This is a professional body. This is not somewhere you can fake things or you can just memorize things and say you have known it and you want to go and attend an interview. But if anybody have followed what you have laid down here, there is no way that person will attend any interview and fail. Even if he doesn't succeed at the first attempt, at least that whoever is interviewing that person will know that that person actually just have some gray areas to learn, but they will still respect that person that he knows something. But when you jump all those projects and you go to the front instead of starting from the way you laid it out, I think what you need to do is to emphasize to people to follow what you have laid, because that is what has helped you. And that is what you think everybody will need to do to succeed.
Yes.
And
Sorry, let me chip this thing in. Another thing, very quick, please. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Some people, they forgot that they probably not going to have one interview that will get them a job, one particular interview.
Mm-hmm.
When you keep pushing, like maybe you may do up to 10 interviews before you get a job, even more than that. But don't relax. Don't relax. Don't relent. You will definitely get a job on this field because this AWS is the highest market right now. So this guy, I don't know, whoever it is, he may probably get one of the, probably this is his first interview and feeling rejected. So I don't know why he should do that. You should keep pushing. If he doesn't succeed in this one in Terraform right now, go and research on Terraform. Do more. In another interview, they may ask you the same question on Terraform and you get it. You get the job. That's it.
Hi, Aziz.
Hello.
Yeah, my name is Busayo. Can I quickly now say
Oh,
some
yeah.
things?
Yes. I think Mr. Henry has his hand raised
Oh, I thought that
before
was
you.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay, no problem.
so you can
listen.
so let's go in that order, please. Sorry, then
Okay, no.
and you'll be right after him. So thank you guys. Mr. Henry, Mr. Adewale, is that what you wanted to say, or is there any other thing you wanted to chime in on?
Yeah, I just want to comment on the writers, the message, the feedback you got. This one you're showing on the
Okay,
screen.
go
So
ahead.
can I go ahead? Oh, okay,
Yeah, sure.
thank you. So I joined this platform sometimes say mid of last year, and what led me to this platform was that after I finished, can I call it a DevOps or AWS or cloud engineer boot camp, and we me, as in my friends and I, we wanted to, keep our skills sharp. We formed a group and we were, working on projects. And along the line, one of us, suggested your platform that, hey, I found a platform where it's, the platform it's project based. And we're like, oh, okay, this is what we've been looking for. We've been struggling, individually bringing projects, to our WhatsApp group. I'm like, okay, we can leverage your platform, learn together and discuss. So I, and that has been the, I've learned some stuff, and that has been the journey, right? And I've had, series of interviews, of course, still interviewing. But looking at this message, this person said something that is making me think that the expectation of this person is probably, I really, but one can tell that this person might not have that foundation. Like maybe this person has not gone through like a boot camp to learn some of these basics, AWS, Terraform. I've learned all these things before joining this platform. So some of these projects they go to kind of just reinforce my understanding, by having hands-on.
Yeah.
But probably this person has not gone through, such fundamental learning or training. And then he's saying that the platform is just like following a template and he's not learning anything. Definitely, that's how it's going to look like if a person doesn't have that background, either through school or boot camp. You just follow this project. You won't learn anything. I tell you, even despite my having I can say an IT background and going through a boot camp, I still struggle with some of these technologies. Yesterday, I was still reading on Terraform modules just to really understand or fill up whatever gap I'm still struggling with when it comes to Terraform module. So I feel that may be the problem or the challenge that this person has, and you might think that this platform is just for someone who just wants to switch from whatever field to DevOps or cloud engineering field without, having that foundation, that learning just by following project will not cut it. So that is I probably you just need to highlight this to new members or prospective members that want to join this platform, that hey, you might need to have certain background, certain fundamental, foundation before you can start following these projects to, that's my.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That's a good suggestion, and I want to speak to that in a couple of points. So someone said that I never respond to the answer. I never answer their comments. That I am trying my best to get to you at the right time. But one thing I want to say is in my program there are several different options that I offer, right? As you guys know, on YouTube, I have a lot of stuff there for free. And also on YouTube, I have some projects there that you can pay a small membership fee that you have access to. But according to those ones, I would answer your comment questions, right? I'm trying my best to answer it whenever I can answer it, but it is not prioritized over those in my mentorship program. So those in my mentorship program, they have access to Slack channel. And in the Slack channel, even though sometimes it might take me time to get back with you, which is why I have these weekend meetings. And also during the week, I try to go live. Now I'm going to start going live more on more days, and I will let you guys know when I'm online. So if anyone has questions throughout the week, that will be an opportunity to catch me. So please, I understand, don't take it personal that I am not responding to you. Sometimes it's just, there's a lot of, I have emails that I have to respond to, and I know maybe I'm growing and I need help in that area, but that is something I can improve on. So don't take it personal that I haven't answered your question in a timely manner. Abdul also said his concern is that I don't explain the concept before the project, which is what Mr. Adewale just said too. So Abdul, if any of you join my program, the first thing that I always tell you guys to do, which is something you cannot skip, is in my program, the very first thing you take is the getting started. So if we look at this getting started course, right? Here I tell you, in order to be successful, these are the things you need to do before you even start, right? And part of the things I tell you to do is make sure you complete the cloud practitioner course, make sure you complete the solutions architect course, make sure you take a course on Linux, and make sure you take a course on Git. The reason why I recommend this course before you even start any hands-on project, which the same thing happened to me when I started learning AWS, right? The first time I started learning AWS, I went to the AWS website and I picked a course from their website, and I was watching the course, and they were saying things like EC2, S3, RDS, things like that. And I was so lost, I didn't even know what they meant. And I just assumed that it was so difficult to learn AWS. And I stopped learning for a good 7 to 8 months. Before, I was still having the same issue at my company. I was still living check to check. Then I just had to force myself to go back. And when I went back to learn the second time, I went on Udemy and I bought a cloud practitioner course then. And that was really how I started my learning journey. And that was what I did, which is why I recommend that to you. So Abdul, if I'm saying things like EC2, S3, RDS, auto scaling, and you don't absolutely know what that means, right? Then you need to take the cloud practitioner course and the solutions architect course to understand the concept. Because if I have to fit the concepts into the projects, the hands-on projects, the hands-on projects are going to be 6-7 hours long, because I would have to explain what an EC2 instance is to you before we use it, which is not the main purpose of my program. The main purpose of my program is to teach you the hands-on skills you need. Because another thing that happened to me is even whenever I passed my cloud practitioner exams and solutions architect exam, I still didn't know anything. I could speak about the concepts and the topics of AWS, but I didn't know anything about how to SSH into your EC2 instance, how to install and configure any website on your EC2 instance, how to set up a VPC, a multi-tier VPC, and all the things we are working on. There is Docker, there is Kubernetes, there is Terraform. All these things are not covered in the cloud practitioner and solutions architect, right? So, which is why my projects are strictly hands-on project. So when you start the hands-on project, you should have the knowledge on the concepts down. So, which is why I recommend taking the cloud practitioner and the solutions architect course. And as you can see in my program, that is one of the first things I demand that you do before you even go to the hands-on project. Thank you, Mr. Adewale, for your feedback on that. Mr. Henry, you can go then. Busi, you'll be next.
I think combining everything that has been said today, it's most of them are part of what I want to say, because before I came to the program, like you said, I'm new to the platform like mid last year when I joined your program. And I also noticed that I didn't know anything. So I had to stop whatever I was doing and tell myself I don't know anything, even though I've completed like 2 certifications. So, but I didn't know how to put all these services together. So, I mean, I joined the platform. Then when I saw it, I'm like, okay, I need to start all over again, which was what I did. But looking at the statement I was sent to you, the person said he or she doesn't think anything. I mean, the program last year, I remember that after we complete the project, you have to do assignment. You created a Jira board. you monitor everything. That alone, if you do the assignment, because assignment is different from the project you're doing, it's just that it's another application entirely. So if you do it and follow those assignments, I think the issue of not thinking independently, I don't understand what it's trying to say. Like they have said, maybe you just or she just jumped to a project without starting. And not like you responding like you said that oh you don't respond that. I mean it has helped most of us. Like somebody was saying that before you respond, yeah, try to like, get the code running. So I mean for me personally it has helped me to like improving my debugging skills because that is the most important thing and how to like see issues and even though you're waiting and I feel like okay trying to figure out what it is. So most times I will text you, oh, at least I've resolved this issue. And then I move on. You
Yes.
understand? And you're trying your best. Immediately you have a chance, you text, oh, do you have 2 minutes or 3 minutes to join the line? I mean, for me, mm, yes, you cannot be perfect, but you are doing everything possible. If you do the project, go and do the assignment, follow the steps, and you'll get there. Like someone pointed out to interviews, you have to keep doing it. Interviews, first interview will help you, enlighten you on the next one, right? So you get it.
Yeah.
So I believe you are doing everything possible because if I always tell people, I don't know, you come on Saturday, you spend hours with us troubleshooting, troubleshooting hours. So I don't know the another program that can really, really, you know, give out that kind of time. I've joined program that says within 3 months I can get a job in cloud and stuff like that. It was when I joined, it was just chaos. It was just chaotic. Like you can't even reach out to some of them, and they ask you to go to the Slack and be posting your stuff there, you know. So and you don't get feedback from them. So yeah, I will also suggest that. I mean, I know you have students also that have also gotten a job and website. So maybe also let them come post their testimonies too. It will also ginger us, you know.
Okay.
You know, maybe one or two will come on Saturday, tell us what is going on in the industry. So I know this kind of feedback will always come. So I'm not.
Okay. Yes.
Don't be
Thank you.
bothered.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, so I'll let you guys give me your feedback. Then at the end, I would speak to the different points that this person has made, and I'll let you guys know for each of the points where in my program that those things are covered and what my expectation is. Thank you, Mr. Henry. Busi, you can go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Aziz. First of all, I'd like to say, God bless the day I stumbled on your page because I had been on YouTube searching and searching. Nobody has taught me all the things I've known today. You taught me everything because you were just straightforward. And one thing I'll tell people is that you are not after the money. It's not about the money. You are just a good, you're a good tutor. That's one thing because I've tried to check YouTube for something on DevOps. They always tell you to come and join boot camps and they're paying 3,000, 4,000. And you still go there and you don't learn anything at the end of the day. But your platform is just a great one and you just pay so little and you learn so much. So one thing I will tell people is that, like, hi, maybe I'm from the IT field, but one thing I'll say to people that if you're not from the IT field, first of all, go for the cloud practitioner first. Just have the foundation of what's happening. Then after then, you can go ahead and probably go for the solution architect. Then I'll say alongside with the project because there are some things some questions you will not able to answer on the solution architect because it's when you do the practical aspects for you to know some things and for you to be able to answer some questions. Do you understand? Because
yes,
for me, before I joined your platform, I was able to do some SSH. I was able to do so many things. So I did not just rush to join the group. I was doing my own self-pacing and learning on my own and trying to just get some facts before I could join the group. So don't just think you will not work. This is hard work. I had a baby last year. With my baby with me, I'll still be going to YouTube, checking, searching, making researches. So don't think you want to get paid 100, you want to get paid 6 figures, you don't want to do the work. No.
exactly.
Tell them you have to go. There was a time that when I wanted to do the SSH, it was so difficult for me, and I was not your your member then, but I still look for you. I still try my best, and I was able to figure it out. So when you don't have that, you have to strive hard. You have to keep working and know what you want. Not just thinking just 2 or 3 months or 4 months and that's it. Or because you go through the project and you just giving up. It's involve hard work, like hard work. Because those that want to employ you want to know you know what you're doing, and you're really there for the money. So if you want that money, you have to do something to be able to fit in for that money. But if not, they will not. You not even get an interview. But for me right now, I'm still working on myself. You understand what I'm saying? Because you have to know what you want. If you know what you want, you have to make sure you get to that extent. Like you have the confidence and know what you're doing. Then yes, you get there. Fine, they are saying that they cannot get you. You're the only one on this platform that is trying to help. You have your own job to do during the week. Do you understand? So they should try and remember that too as well. So as if this is the only thing you are doing. Let them go to any other platform. They will not get anything cheap. They never get anything cheaper than this. I bet you.
Yeah.
Because you are everything I know today is from you. I just give you did everything. If not for you, I'll never go to do DevOps as a person. I'm telling you, because they will not even give you the full details of how to do things. But even on your YouTube alone is okay for people to even get the real deal before being a member. So tell them it's hard work. It's not magic. Thank you.
Thank you. I thank you. I appreciate that because everything she said is exactly what I expect from you guys. And one point she made is, think about it, if an employer is going to pay you 150,000, 200,000, right? You have to know something. You're not just gonna go to work and sit there and be collecting almost $12,000 a month and you think you're not going to know anything. No, you're going to need to know a lot of stuff. So what you have to ask yourself is, how can I make myself valuable to the marketplace? Meaning that what skills are this employer requiring me to learn? And how can I learn those skills so I can be this person that is valued at making 150,000, 200,000, or whatever amount you want to make, right? But you cannot escape the work. For those of you that are taking boot camps, right? I've had people join my program that have taken other people's boot camp before, right? What the common thing I tend to see is they give you guys the false expectation that you can learn AWS cloud in 40 days, 12 weeks, 3 months, and all that stuff, right? All those things are just to collect your money. I'll tell you guys the absolute honest truth, and I can show you guys the proof. I'm looking for someone to market my course, right? So if anyone is out there hearing this, if you are good at marketing, let me know. I can certainly split the profit with you. So I'm looking for ways to market my course, right? So I hired this marketing agency. They to just even speak with me, they charged me 2,500. That was what I paid, right? And I actually signed up under them, right? So while we were working on all the things I need to prepare to start running my ads, this was just last month. While we were working through that, they told me that what they found online that makes people buy course is, before that, they asked me all these questionnaires, which I filled out. I think I probably have it somewhere here. Let me see if I can find it. Or maybe, okay, right. I think this is it. Right. They asked me all this questionnaire, which are things I filled out, right? And if you look here, I'm telling them what my expectation is. They ask me things like, who will be your ideal client? What type of expectations do you have for your client, right? Which I filled all those things out in this form, right? And one of the things I said in the form is, I'm looking for people that are serious. My ideal client is someone that is serious about their career, and I know when you come with that right mentality, I can also help. So when we were working on preparing the ad, they said that what they've seen online that makes sense is that I need to give you guys some type of guarantee that when I give you guys the guarantee, that's when you guys will buy. And the guarantee is to say, if you guys don't get the job, you'll get your money back. And I said, no, I can't do that because I know what I'm selling works. I know the value that is in it. So I don't want to trick anyone into joining my program. I'm just going to tell you, this is what I did to get a job. And trust me, it has changed my life tremendously. And I'm saying, if you guys can do the same thing, you will get a job. And that is the common theme I see with a lot of people running ads online about joining their program. And I want you guys to look out for that. If anyone is listening, if you are considering joining anyone's program, don't look at it from the standpoint of, I can get a job in 45 days, because that's a lie. You cannot get a job in 50 days, 12 weeks, 3 months, right? You will have to build the skills, and maybe you can get a job, right? But that means that they are just patching your profile to make it look and presenting skills that you don't have to help you get a job in 50 days or 100 days or however many days the bootcamp is telling you can get a job. And what will happen is you'll get the job because sometimes there is loopholes in the interview. Maybe you stumble across the right interview that you are able to patch your skills, patch the skills you don't have on your resume, and you are able to get the job. But what's going to happen on the job is you are going to struggle a lot. I can't tell you how many times people have messaged me talking about, I'm on the verge of losing my job. I just need your help for job support. I don't do job support. So that's why I said, you guys get your skills and you can use that skills to have a long-lasting career when you start working. And I can also guarantee, the guarantee that I'm making is that I can teach you all those skills. And the guarantee that I'm also making is everyone that I've gone through my program and I've gotten a job, all of them are still working now. Some of them are even teaching class. I can speak of like 3 or 4 people that are teaching class. There is one of my favorite members, Afiz. He is in Nigeria right now. He lives in Nigeria. He started his own YouTube channel. He's doing tutorials, sharing his experience, you know? So that is what I can guarantee, but I'm not going to use any type of trick to get you guys money. I'm just saying, this is the information. I'm putting it out there. If you want to join, if you believe in your ability and you believe that you'll be dedicated to the information, yes, join. And I will do whatever I can do to continue to improve and help you guys. And that is it. But I'm not going to work on any trick to get you guys to sign up. So I told those people, I said, I don't want to make any guarantee. I'm just trying to tell them this is the information, and there must be a way I can people like Apple and Google and all this company that has good product, they don't have to make guarantees. They just tell you their product, and based on their reputation, you buy. That's the type of reputation I'm trying to build to put out good service, and in turn, people will buy instead of me doing some type of trick to get them to sign up. So I canceled my service with them because what they were trying to get me to do didn't really align with what my goal is. So that's what I'm saying. My expectation for you guys is, it is not something you're just going to be able to do in 1 month and think you're going to get a job, which is why I said at least 6 months. And that 6 months is dedicating your time to it every day. And I've always said it several times on this program, just because you complete a project does not mean you are done. What I care to see at the end of this project is all the concepts that are covered in the project. Can you explain it? Because those are the things you would explain when you get to an interview. So that is what I care about, right? And another idea I want to give you guys is, I heard it somewhere this week, is when you guys are working on your cloud project, a good way to present it to a company is, I see we are all doing the same thing now. We just do a project, complete it, and post it on on GitHub, this is my project, I completed it, right? But another perspective for you guys to consider is while you are posting your project on GitHub that this is what I've completed, also include in your summary of that project, what type of problem did you solve with this project? So think of that. That is one of the first things. What problem are you solving for a particular company, or what problem are you solving by completing this project? Another thing you should consider including in your summary on GitHub is what issues did you face while you are working on that project? So you can document some issues you faced and what steps did you use to resolve it? That, in addition to a summary of the project you complete, will give you one of the best chance because it is showing that you have the right mindset to troubleshoot and solve problems. Working as a cloud and DevOps engineer is all about solving problems. Yes, we build stuff, but we are building things to solve problems. So always keep that in mind. It is about solving problems. So which is why I'm always pushing you guys to embrace referencing documentations, troubleshooting any issues you have, because that will be part of your day-to-day as a cloud engineer. I think Mr. Sonny, I'm sorry. Yeah, I kind of went on, but I just wanted to cover those points. Did you still want to say something?
Yeah, I was just trying to clear that when I leave my message that it takes some time for you to respond, that it gives me room to actually research on what I was asking you for and get the answer. So it's more like a blessing in disguise. There's not anything wrong in your side. It just gives me room to go in and do my research. I mean, everyone, I know you're a busy person, so whenever you respond to me, it's like a privilege as well. I don't expect you to respond right away.
Yeah.
So that's what I was saying. I didn't mean it like there was something wrong in there.
Okay, yes, that's fine. And I will admit I can probably be better at trying to respond on time, which is why I will try to go live as much as I can during the week. So that way I can catch everyone when I need to catch them. So I don't see anyone's hands raised. And what I want to speak about to this person's comments is first, what I saw here is saying that is applying to jobs consistently, right? But what I would say is instead of you applying consistently, I want you to be more consistent in building the necessary skills you need, because it is apparent that you don't understand Terraform. So rather than just applying when you know you don't know Terraform, why don't you use that effort to build your skills on Terraform? Then you can now apply. So that's one thing you can do is switch your mentality to, instead of just applying thinking you'll get a job with the bare minimum skill sets, try to improve on the areas you know your knowledge is lacking. And once you build that, that will give you the best chance of getting a job. And I can honestly say I have one of the best Terraform projects out there. And one of my response to him is, please post the Terraform sample that they gave you to complete, and I can guarantee you that I will show you where in my program where that topic is covered. You guys can see from the DevOps assignment we were working on that there's nothing on that DevOps assignment that we haven't covered in our program. In the project, everything on that DevOps assignment has been covered. There's been so many people that have asked me to provide them with feedback on the recent DevOps test they just completed. And literally there's nothing in most of the tests that is not covered in this program. So that is one thing I would say, rather than just applying and you know you are not building your skill sets, switch that around, build your skill set, be consistent at building your skill set, then apply. The other point is the projects don't challenge students to think independently. You only know something you don't know something until you know it. So the point of my project is to show you how to build things, the concepts, how to SSH into an EC2 instance. So even in following me along, you are still learning how to do something for the first time, right? So once you learn how to do it for the first time, how I have improved the program that allows you to think independently is by providing a corresponding assignment to the project you just completed. So for every project you complete, there is an assignment that you also have to complete, which you have to work on independently to make sure that you can complete it. The point of the project is to allow you to think independently. And when you guys work on the project, I gave you some parameters you need to meet. And I also say that think of ways you can improve it. So it's not only to just complete the assignment, but it is also ways for you to think independently and use whatever you learned from the project to complete the assignment. So yes, the assignment is meant for you to think independently. And yes, it is difficult, but the things I'm asking you to complete in the assignment is not something I didn't show you in the project you have to complete. So you just have to take your time to go through the project and try to use the knowledge you gain from the project to complete the assignment. So that's what I would say on your ability to think independently. That is what the assignment is meant for. As far as for support, several ways that I offer support is if you are in my program, we have a Slack channel where you can post your questions where other students can respond to you, and I'll try to get back to you in a reasonable amount of time. I will start going live more during the week to catch as many people as I can catch that need help. And on Saturdays, I meet with you guys every Saturday to help you troubleshoot any issues you have. So those are the different supports I have. So feel free to join every Saturday. Feel free to message me if you have any issues with any project, and I would help you. So, and the last part is the Terraform project. You just have to build your skills. There is no other way to teach you Terraform. And you guys know, one thing I always recommend is when you work on your Terraform project, right? I'm trying to provide you with the template of how something works, but you still have to go into the documentation, which is one of the things I mentioned in the beginning of the project. Don't just follow me along. If I provide the Terraform code, you guys saw last week when we are working on the DevOps assignment, we are going into the documentation, copying, because that is the same thing you would do. You go into the documentation, copy whatever their sample code is. You use that as your base starting point. Then you add whatever argument you need for the configuration you are going for. So there's no difference between me providing you a template to start with and you copying a template from the Terraform documentation. The main thing is your job also as a cloud engineer is you have to understand and you have to know how to reference documentations. You will always be referencing documentations. I feel like those are some of the soft skills that people overlook. We all are just trying to complete a project, but there's more to it. When they give you an assignment at work, you will have opportunity to troubleshoot. You have opportunity to do a research, sorry. So you do a research, you gather your findings, and based on your findings, then you can start building the necessary steps to build the application. So there is always a research phase. So in the research phase, that's when you'll be referencing documentations, gathering your notes together. I have notes. So let me see if I can. So this is the Confluence, my Confluence page. Let me see. When I was working on the Kubernetes project, you can see my notes here. I didn't just say I want to work on Kubernetes and I started typing commands. No, it took me several weeks of doing research and testing different things that I'm finding in documentation And as I do something, it works, I note it down, and I just move on to the next step. So you can see this whole documentation I wrote on my Kubernetes project. So I did the research and found different documentations from different sources. You won't find all the things you need in one place. You'll find it in multiple places. And you just continue to build your notes until you are comfortable that you have all the necessary information to deploy. Then you start deploying, right? You can see all these notes. These are long notes. You can see. So I don't try to give you guys the false expectation. And these are like this, what I have here is when I was running into some issues, like some commands that I was testing to make sure that it works. You can see this is a long note. And down here, I have some reference of the different documentations where I found different things. You won't find everything in one place. You'll find your answers in multiple places. So you have to also be comfortable with referencing documentation, reading it, and troubleshooting. The good thing about cloud engineer is not like the medical field where you have to read a whole book. For example, let's say I went to this Terraform documentation here. They did a good job adding everything to what's this thing called? Table of content, right? So you just came to whatever you are looking for and read certain parts of it to just get an understanding on what you are looking for. So we don't necessarily read the whole thing. We just skim through it, find what we are looking for, read that part, make sure we understand it, then we go on to working on our project. So that's another thing I want to say that you guys should not overlook. I do research every day if I'm trying to work on something, and that is also going to be a skill you need to work as a cloud engineer. So that is what I want to say. Does anyone else have anything to say? Then that would be pretty much it for this feedback session. Then we can go into troubleshooting.
Hello, this I have a question. The dev interview videos, did you post it or
Oh, the
in the
ones
class?
we've been working on, yes, is on,
Yes.
yeah, they're on YouTube. I will send you the link. So
Okay,
they
please.
they actually go live immediately because I'm like broadcasting it on YouTube as we work on it. So if you
Yeah, because I've been looking for it on your page.
okay, so let me show you. If you go on YouTube and let me go on my channel and here. So once you go on my channel, look for playlist, right? So once you select the playlist, the playlist you want to look for is the one that says Master AWS DevOps. That is the playlist for all of our weekend meetings. If you click this playlist, you'll see it here. So if you scroll down here, so you can see the one that we are doing today is live here, and these are the previous ones we did.
The first one. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Is anyone saying anything? Yeah, your sound is kind of muffled. Yeah, and barely. I can barely hear you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Alex. Alex, can you email me? I'm going to post my email here and we can work out something on how you can be a member, So for me, trust me, I want to make money too. You guys don't get me wrong. I don't want to show up every Saturday, do all these things, and a couple of years from now, I don't have anything to show for it. So I also I want it to be a 50-50 exchange, meaning that you pay me for the service, and I also in return I provide on the value you are looking for. So I want it to be an equal exchange, right? So I want to make money as well, but I'm not looking to get rich off anyone, but I do care that if I can impact some knowledge on you where you are able to build the skills you need to get in the cloud computing field and change, at least be part of a field that pays very well and has a good potential for the future, have a good work-life balance. I also care about that. So, which is why I don't charge thousands of dollars for my program. So, email me and we will work out something. Okay, so Mr. Dewale, that I'm not sure your sound is still was still muffled, but whenever you want to chime in, just interrupt me.
Yeah, I cannot put the question in the chat if you can access that.
Okay, sure. Okay. Oh, thank you, Busayo. I appreciate it. You know, I understand what it takes to get a job. I understand what it takes to go from being desperate, from just feeling like, man, I'm not barely doing enough. I'm not barely making what I want to make to where I am now. And that's the only reason why I even started my YouTube channel and started this program, is to share those knowledge with you guys and help anyone that is willing to transition into the cloud computing field to be able to do the same. So I care about that more. It's one of the things I care about. So for those listening to this, I'm telling you guys, and I've said it in my program and I'm saying it here, right? The cloud computing field is not the only field that pays a lot of money, right? I'm telling you, if you want to change your situation from anything, all you have to do is develop your skills. There are a lot of jobs that pays a lot of money, right? What you have to ask yourself is, am I willing to build the necessary skills to be able to do those jobs so I can get paid the money those jobs are paying? That is it. There is no trick. I'm telling you, when I went from living check to where I am now, that is it. It's just cloud computing pays a lot of money. What skills do they require me to have? And I took my time to build those skills and I was able to get a job, and that is it. So I'm telling you guys, whatever field you are trying to get into, it doesn't have to be cloud computing. First thing you have to do is focus on building your skills for that field. Don't look at the money. I always say that building the money is a byproduct of having the skills. It's not the other way around. You don't get the money, then try to build your skills. No, you build your skills first, and the companies will see that you are valuable to them, and they will pay you what you are asking for. So in whatever field you are trying to get into, first focus on building your skills. First focus on building the skills that are required to get a job in that field. Then you'll make the amount of money you want to make. And if cloud computing is where you have decided you want to go into, I can definitely help you build the cloud computing skills. What I am doing is that simple. So focus on building your skills. Let me find Mr. Dewale's question. So Mr. Dewale said, are the projects in the paid subscription on YouTube different from the project on AWS Node platform? No, they are not, right? So the projects in the paid subscription on YouTube is not different, but I don't have all the projects on the platform on the YouTube channel. So the YouTube channel, I have the dynamic website, I have the Docker project, and I have the Terraform project. That is it. But I don't have the CI/CD project on YouTube. I don't have the Kubernetes project on YouTube. And also with YouTube, you are you would have to do that is meant for those that already know what they are doing. Maybe they just want to have some projects under their belt and some projects they can continue to reference. So that's kind of like why I created that. But if you are someone that is new and you don't know what you are doing and you still kind of need guidance, I would say that wouldn't be the best option for you. But if you know what you are doing, then the projects on YouTube would help you because it would take me some time to get through those comments, which was one of the feedback I just got. So it's because of the program you are in. So it might take me time to get to you, but that program is really meant for those that already understand what they are doing, but they're just trying to complete some projects to refresh their knowledge. So if you are someone that's new, that would be the best option for you. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your feedback. And I will also try to improve on the things that I can improve on. You know, one of the ones that I always hear is trying to get to you guys when you are having the issue on it at a on time. So I would work on that. Okay, so let's pretty much go on to troubleshooting as we are pretty much always there. So if anyone needs help troubleshooting, then we can go into that. Mr. Sonny, I thought you needed help troubleshooting.
What is
Yes, Mr. Harry.
um can I just show you my screen very quick?
Yeah, sure. Let me stop share. Okay, you can share your screen. Okay, I can see your screen now.
Yeah, let me see. The Terraform project I was working on,
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to run this this
So right now you are in your modules. So
yeah,
maybe you need to
let me
be
go back. Sorry.
in your project. Yeah, don't close this module. Well, it's fine. We can open it. But yeah, so it might be something you need to fix in your modules.
There is no error, but the only let me
Okay.
go. The only issue I'm having is that in this project,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have I don't have the container image on my ECR. So is it that we have we have created the container previously, we did not delete it, delete it?
Yes. Yes. So for your image, when we completed the project in the management console,
Yeah.
AWS don't really charge you for storing your images. Maybe they do, but you would have to have so much image in there. So for those things that we put in our S3 bucket and ECR for our container image, I tell you guys not to delete it, because then when you work on your Terraform project, you can use it. So
Because I
so
deleted
if you
it and
don't have it there, maybe when you completed the project, you deleted it.
yeah, I
So
deleted it.
the only thing you have to do now is you just have to go back to that Docker project and only watch that part where we built the image. So rebuild your image and push it to ECR. Then you will be able to use it here.
All right. Thank you so much. That's all I need.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, so for you guys, when you work on your project, things like application code we store in S3, codes we store in GitHub, because this week someone else deleted everything from their GitHub repository. Codes we store in GitHub, things we store in S3, things we store in ECR, those you don't really get charged for those. So anything you store in these services, you can leave them there for your future reference. So don't worry about deleting them. The things that you need to focus more on deleting are things like EC2 instance, RDS, NAT gateway, application load balancer, auto scaling groups, things like that. But other services, and I'll try to get a list of AWS services that AWS charge you on, and the ones that are the ones that are free, and the ones that really, if you store anything, like S3, for example. I have a bunch of S3 buckets, but I still don't get charged for S3 because you have to store so much in S3 to get charged for it. Okay. Does anyone that needs help troubleshooting? Or if you have any questions? Okay, cool. I guess that would just be it for today's meeting then. Thank you so much for your feedback. I don't take any feedback from you guys, whether good or bad. I don't take it personal at all. I understand, my goal is to help you build the skills you need to give you the best chance to pass your interview and get a job as a cloud engineer. And my goal is also not to only help you get a job, but to help you keep your job. So that is why I don't provide job support. When people ask me in the beginning, before they sign up, are you going to be helping me once I start work? No, because if I've done my job right, you should have all the knowledge you need to be able to work and continue to build on your knowledge. And this statement is true. Everyone that I've helped get a job, even though they always tell me, once they get their job, they always reach out to me. I'm going to be contacting you. I'm going to be asking you all these questions if I need help. And I understand it's because they are nervous. It's their first time going to work as a cloud engineer. But I can tell you 100% of them don't call me. I barely even hear from them at all. I might hear from them once in a blue moon, and they are just saying hi. Because I understand once you start working, one, your priority has changed from learning to now focusing on doing your job effectively. So you may not be working on project as much, even though I recommend that even if you are working, continue to build your skills by working on different hands-on project. I mean, you learn some things at work, but for me personally, I learn the most when I work on a hands-on project. So continue to build your skills. So one, their priority has changed. They are working now, so they really don't reach out to me. And I feel happy about that. I feel like I've done my job because my goal is to help you get a job. I get so many emails of people telling me about their they are on the verge of losing their job because they don't know what they are asking them to do. And I'm sorry to say, someone also reached out to me recently and said, I need help cloning a repository, and they are working, right? And I can guarantee you, if I tell any of you guys to clone a repository now, you can do it with your eyes closed. So that is the last thing I'm going to end this with is, don't look at the money. First, focus on building your skills. When you build your skills, trust me, the sky is the limit with the amount of money you can make. I'm not saying that, and I wouldn't even put whatever I'm making as a cap for you, because you can be so talented that you will make more. I've gone on YouTube and I'm hearing of people making 500,000, 300,000, and my jaw is just dropping. Like, what type of skills do you guys have for a company to pay you this amount? Some people talking about they get signing bonus. They would demand a company pay them a $70,000 signing bonus, and the company does pay them, right? So what confidence does someone have to ask a company to pay them $70,000 or to demand a salary that is upwards of 300,000, 400,000, 500,000? It's because they have the skills, and the company has identified this person as someone that has the skills that we need. That is why they are willing to pay. Trust me, it's not that cloud has so much money that companies are so stupid. They are just willing to give you money without you providing some form of value to them. You have to provide the value to them, and they compensate you for it in return. So I will end it on that note.
I,
Hello,
As it,
Mr. Aziz.
can I
Okay.
say something?
Okay, yeah, go
Check
ahead.
your chats.
Uh,
Okay, yeah, okay.
okay, something happened sometimes last week, and yeah, I was going through a job application, and while filling out the form, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay, good. So while filling out the form, and on the application page, they ask for a cover letter, right? So I decided to explore the company's website to see, read more about the company, their mission, their values, goals, and all those stuff, so I can, add to my cover letter. And while going through their employees, I just right there, I just saw your handsome picture sitting, among them. Like, this is my virtual mentor sitting right there. And it was so how do I say it? So exciting for me, and
Mhm.
so funny at the same time, like seeing your picture among them. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And I kind of just laugh over it, with my friends. And yeah, I just want to, share
Oh,
this.
oh wow. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so um I mean, that is it. And and another point that I forgot that you guys also touched on is, even me as someone that have some skills, I don't know it all. When it comes to the interview phase, right? You have to just persevere. Everybody is applying, everybody is getting rejected. Do you guys want me to compile all the emails I've received on, sorry, we've moved on, sorry, we picking someone that the skills their skill sets match what we are looking for? Do you guys want me to compile all those emails for you? I guarantee you it's probably over 200. You just have to keep applying. But one thing I always encourage you guys is that you may keep applying, right? When you finally get the opportunity, don't mess up that opportunity. And how you won't mess up the opportunity is, while you are applying and waiting for your name to be called, to be given an opportunity to prove yourself, you have to make sure that you are building your skill sets in those time. That is what will give you the best chance during the interview. You can see in the case of this person, they said, I've been applying a lot, but you did get an opportunity, which was the interview. They asked you to work on Terraform. Don't mess up that opportunity by not being prepared. If he was prepared and build the necessary things, build the necessary skills he needs to build, and know the things he needs to know about Terraform, that potentially was an opportunity for him to get employed. Because you only need one job, right? And you only need one opportunity. It doesn't matter how many people told you no. Once you get that one opportunity, you want to go in there and you want to shine. And how you are able to do that is preparing by building your skill sets. So that's one thing I want to say. Someone says, for the AMI, do we get charged? No. You probably do, right? But I will try to do a research on it. You do, but not something you will say. You would have to store so many AMIs in your account to get charged. So you don't get charged for the AMI at this level that we are working on the things we are working on. You don't get charged at that rate. Someone said, maybe if I can help you guys with job offer, right? After you guys finish, that would be helpful. I would love to do that. Trust me, which is one thing I always recommend. I always say that for those of you that I can tell, those that are serious, those that are doing it. And part of the ways I can tell is I understand everyone is busy. So I don't hold you to whether you join the meeting regularly every Saturday. But how I am able to tell is when you ask questions, the type of questions you are asking. That lets me know that you know what you are doing. Or if we are talking about some concepts and you and I can have conversations like, if we work on this way, if we configure this way, is there a way we can make it better? And we start going through all the different ways we can potentially deploy something, right? That lets me know you understand what you are doing. For those of you that are on that level, I would love to have a job opportunity for you guys, which is where I'm going to see what research I can do, people I can potentially partner with to see if there's a job opportunity for those that I can present to them and say, oh, okay, these people are really good at what they are doing. Please feel free to check them out. But that's something I'm working on. I'm still growing. I'm not there yet. But the best you can do now is just apply online. And I also said that while you guys are waiting for that opportunity, don't underestimate the power of social media, right? Start sharing your project, right? Start sharing what you know from your perspective. What has the journey been like for you? Start sharing it on YouTube, Instagram, wherever you want to share it. I have like maybe about 4 students in the past year that have started YouTube channel. Their YouTube channel now is monetized. Fizz just started his YouTube channel. He shared it on LinkedIn last week, and I was very happy to see that. So while you are waiting for your opportunity, there are other things you can do to try to get a job. So I would love to provide you guys with a job opportunity, but I'm just here. I don't want to call myself small, but you guys understand what I mean. I'm still growing. Bosi, is there a question you asked that I missed? So Bosi said, Mr. Aziz, your humility is not top notch, and only God can reward you. Thank you. So thank you. I'm trying to do whatever I can do to help you guys the best way that I can. So it comes with being patient, because I also understand that there was a time that I couldn't SSH, which is crazy to think about it now, right? There was a time that I didn't even understand what it means to clone a GitHub repository, right? So, so yeah, I'm just trying to do whatever I can do to help you guys. Wahab, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Isis. Talking about the job application process and all, and just a bit of my background. I don't work in cloud right now. I work more as a business systems analyst, insurance application. So I see a lot of, and I work closely with developers. So I'm used to working in like a, Scrum environment and sprints, reading code work, writing SQL queries and all of that. But I'll say I started my cloud slash DevOps journey maybe around like August last year. Um, Everything I've learned so far, I would say at least at an intermediate level, I know. Like I can at least have a conversation about it, apart from two things. One would be Python, two be just writing shell scripts, writing and executing shell scripts.
Okay.
And I've not even written a resume. I'm just trying to ensure that I know as much as possible where if I write a resume and I apply for a job and they call me for an interview tomorrow, I'm not panicking simply because I trust that I have learned as much and I know as much as possible. So, but I know those two things are key, Python and being able to write a script. I'd say, from your experiences, that's something that you can still go ahead and even apply to jobs and potentially even learn how to do a job, or it's something that I have to at least get comfortable with before I say, you know what, let me apply for a job.
Yes. So that's a good question. So I'll tell you my Python skill right now, even as someone that's been working as a cloud engineer for a couple of years, is almost like beginner to intermediate, right? So what that means is if you ask me to use Python to automate something in AWS, I can do it. I'm not a Python programmer, and Python programmer, you guys are the best. I'm not a Python programmer, but I understand Python and how to use it to automate different things in AWS. So let me see, I always struggle with the finding the documentation from here. I'll show you something. So similar to Terraform, right? Python also has a documentation on how to use Python to automate different tasks in AWS. So really from the documentation, Bodo 3, yes. So really from the documentation is a copy and paste. You copy and paste, you look at their examples and you build on that example. So let's just say Bodo 3, AWS create EC2 instance, right? So you can see here, this is the documentation to create an EC2 instance. So if you want to create an EC2 instance, this is what you use according to this documentation, right? And they are even giving you a syntax, a request syntax in here, what it would look like, right? So again, that's what I said about earlier is referencing documentation and understanding how to read it is one of the skills you have to learn. So here, you might not necessarily use all these values, but it is at least giving you a good starting point, right? So that is what you just need to know as a cloud engineer. So to answer your question, I am not an efficient Python programmer, but I understand how to read this documentation if I want to use Python to create an EC2 instance and using the sample code they have to create my own code and testing my code to make sure it is doing what I want it to do. So you just have to take it very small like that and you'll build on it. So when we finish this DevOps exercise, this is actually one thing that I want us to work on. So maybe in the next coming weeks, the demo we will work on, we will use Python. One thing, I've worked on the code before and I want to work on it with you guys. We'll work on a code, we'll write a Python code that will terminate any EC2 instance, or if you don't want to terminate it, stop. The Python script can stop or terminate any EC2 instance running in your console after a certain amount of hours. So, because sometimes we tend to forget those resources running. So for the resources that are running, that will cost money, we can write a Python script that will terminate those resources, let's say at 12 midnight. It would either terminate it or stop it or stop your RDS instance or things like that. So we'll write a cool Python script that will do stuff like that. I'm saying if you understand Python on that level, something that simple, you are good to work as a cloud engineer. You don't have to be an expert Python programmer. The same thing is with shell script. Shell script is just a list of things you do, right? You are already doing those things now. And a good example is, let's say let's look at this documentation. So Jenkins, let's look. Jenkins has a good documentation on how to install Jenkins on an EC2. Let me do install Jenkins on EC2, right? So if you go to any documentation, shell script is nothing more than things you already do. So this is the documentation, right? But I'm just going to scroll down here. This is all just talking about how to SSH and all that stuff. So you can see down here, it's telling you once you have SSH into your EC2 instance, you already know all this. You run sudo yum update, then they are telling you you run this command, and they are telling you run this command, and they are telling you run this command, right? These are things you are doing on a daily basis, whatever you are trying to do, right? So shell script is nothing more than compiling all these commands in the order you want to run them, putting them in a shell script file, and running them. You understand? That is all shell script is. But obviously, some shell script, you can add environment variables in it. You can add logic into it to make it more robust, right? But I'm saying you don't have to worry about all that when you are starting out. Just focus on, instead of connecting to your EC2 instance and every time you run this command one by one, why not create a shell script file, just like we did in our Docker project? Why not compile all this command in a file, a shell script file that you can run, that will run all this command for you? I'm saying at a beginner level, that is where you should start. Does that make sense?
Yes, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, thanks.
So don't worry about being the best at it. Just think about certain things you are doing now and how you can improve it. It could just be for every single time. One that I did is, I have a shell script and I can show you. When I worked on the assignment that you guys are working on, so it will be this assignment, right? The commands, we are always running the commands to install PHP, MySQL, and so on, right? You see, and I just created it in a shell script file. So which is nothing more than the commands that I will run, right? To install all this software. I just compiled them here, and I added bin bash at the top to make it a shell script. So now when I need to install PHP, MySQL, Apache, and setting up the configuration that I need to set, I don't have to SSH into my EC2 instance and run this command one by one. I can just call this file and it will run all that commands for me. So I'm saying that is the level you should focus on. Start from there. And as your knowledge, as you build your knowledge, then you can, for certain things, you add logic to it, but you don't have to worry about that starting out.
Okay, thanks, Aziz. Thanks. That was very helpful.
No problem. Someone said Docker Kubernetes on GitLab CI/CD project. So it takes time to work on the project. I'm always recording project at night. Like, I didn't sleep till 6 a.m. this morning because I was updating I was recording the WordPress project to update it. I can show you guys here. So you can see this is the software that I used to record. These are all the videos that I recorded last night. So it takes time, right? I don't want to overwhelm myself by promising too much. So which is why I'm focusing on AWS, because AWS is a really, really good place to start. At some point, I will start challenging us to, maybe it's something we'll work on together, For all the projects we've completed on AWS, I've heard the cloud providers are the same. Once you understand one, we just need to understand, for example, our network is called VPC in AWS. What is it called in Azure? Our virtual server is called EC2 instance in AWS. What is it called in Azure? Once we understand all these things, we will see if we can deploy these applications that we've been deploying on AWS in Azure. And that will be a way we just learn how to deploy it in different cloud platforms. So I do have that idea in mind, but there's so much I have to work on. I don't want to overextend, and I don't want to take on too much and I'm not able to deliver, but I do have that in mind. And when I am ready to start that, it will be something we will do together. I don't think it's something I'm going to record, because just updating all the courses that I'm providing to you guys alone takes time. And if I have to do that in Azure, it will just be too much time. So that's something I do have in mind to do. Okay. Okay, let me see. I think I have some questions here. Okay. So does anyone else have questions before we end? We have one. Okay. So for those that are just joining, the playback for today's session is on YouTube. You can find it if you go on my YouTube channel. Once you come on my channel, look for the playlist. In the playlist, it is going to be under the Master AWS DevOps with whatever is here and weekly mentorship, right? If you click on that, all the past recordings are here, and today's recording, you will see it here. You can see it is live now. Once I end this meeting, it will be available there. And the main thing we discussed today is the feedback that I got from someone that took my program, which is here, and which the feedback was expressing their disappointment for not getting a job in the time they thought they would be able to get a job or build their skills, right? So feel free to watch the video and you will hear all the things we discussed. So again, to end, getting in the cloud computing field is a field that is in demand, right? The money is there, everything is there. We know that. But in order to get a job as a cloud engineer, I've always said you have to build your skills. Learn all the things you need to learn. It does take time. You would have to persevere through the interview stage. But what would help you during the interview is if you take the time to develop your skills. So that is pretty much what we discussed today. Feel free to watch the video if you missed it. Do you guys have any last question, comment before I end today's meeting? Okay. All right, cool. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate your feedback today. And I will see you guys next week. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll try my best to get back with you guys. Thank you. And have a good weekend.
Thank you, Aziz. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Aziz. Thank you so much.
No problem. Bye.